we're done working on it, but I'm going to transition to the FBL and the CEA. And the kid sales talk is kind of child's play, pun intended. Just gotta like not make it complex and say the reasonings behind it. There we go. All right, let's go. Let's look at the CEA sales talk. Approach and intro are the same. Okay, it's 10th, 11th, or 12th grade. Have you already, or are you already planning to take the ACT or SAT in the near future? If yes, what are your score? You plan to retake it, I'm assuming? Okay, so you're planning to retake it? I'm assuming, right? Great, I'll show you our ACT and SAT prep too. So if they say yes, just kind of inquire more about it. If they say no, just don't. No worries, you've got time to figure it out. I didn't decide until about 4 to 5 months before graduation. It's not really true. What? No worries. I mean, you've got time to figure it out. I didn't decide until about 4 to 5 months before graduation. The idea behind the system is to just help you prepare in a strategic way. An average ACT score is about 20 to 21. It's about 20 to 21. And it seems like even a lot of straight A students don't score that high. Best I've been hearing is about like 24, 25. Rarely 26 or 27, because the ACT and the SAT are not as much about your knowledge, but are more so about the strategies. And there are 4 main ways to prepare for it. 1, you could wing it, and I wouldn't recommend that. 2, you could take a class. Many students attend prep classes at their school, a local university, or a commercial prep center. The upside is it provides accountability and a structured environment with the teacher and peers, but the downside is students often feel they get too far ahead or behind, and many don't want to ask questions in front of classmates. 3 is private tutoring. One-on-one tutoring provides targeted help based on strengths and weaknesses. The upside is just personal attention. Now, the third way is private tutoring. One-on-one tutoring provides targeted help based on strengths and weaknesses. The upside is personalized attention. The downside is it's just very expensive and difficult to pinpoint actual weaknesses in a real testing format. Now, the fourth option is self-paced prep. Many students buy a big study book and try to work through it on their own. The upside is it's flexible and cheaper than classes or tutors, but the downside is it's not always efficient or engaging, and it really just lacks strategy. Now, our system falls into the self-paced category, but it's different. Combines the best aspects of all 3 options: personalized learning and expert strategy and flexibility. So students can effectively prep effectively on their own schedule. Okay, so we partner with the Preston Review, the #1 test prep company, to provide a personalized learning system for the ACT, SAT, and PSAT. It tracks progress, adapts to weaknesses, and builds a personal strategy for your prep that mirrors the real test formats. A 4-year access package, exclusive to Southwestern Advantage. The Preston Review offers this for just 1 year. All right, and the guidance on college applications, scholarships, and deadlines all in one place. Now, applying for college can feel overwhelming, but the Princeton Review's college prep package gives students everything they need to understand the process, prepare for tests, and maximize their opportunities. Wouldn't it be helpful to have everything you need to plan for college in one place? Here are the details. Well, personalized per student. Instead of taking a test through school, waiting 2 to 3 weeks just to get a score with no strategy for improvement, you take a full-length practice test on your own, get results instantly, and receive a tailored study plan designed to actually help you improve. How helpful is that? You get tons of practice tools. So 377 drills and 3,200 practice questions. But the best part is it doesn't overwhelm you. The system filters through everything and only gives you what you need based on your results. Isn't that awesome? You can take the practice tests up to 16 times and keep improving. Now, the Princeton Review is the best in college admissions. They're the #1 name in test prep for getting into top schools. Isn't that great? Digital access means students can study wherever, whenever, at their own pace. Can you see how easy and convenient that'd be? So essentially, Princeton Review College Prep Package is a personalized, self-paced digital SAT and ACT prep system designed to help students improve scores efficiently and maximize practice questions, filtering out unnecessary material to focus only on what students need. With 4 years of digital access and expert guidance on college admissions, it's the most convenient and effective way to prepare for the SAT and ACT. Wouldn't that be so helpful? Now, would you see yourself using this more for test prep or for college admissions and guidance? How do you think this would compare to what you've been doing so far? Yeah, can you see why so many families have been choosing this over traditional tutoring or prep books? Price build up. Okay, so if we break it down, Princeton Reviews, Canada's test prep costs about $1,500. If we break it down, the Princeton Reviews standard test prep costs about $1,500. Private tutoring can run anywhere from $50 to $200 per hour, and most students don't get 4 years of access like us. Most test prep options are one and done. You pay for a class, take a test, and hope for the best. But this actually adjusts as students improve. But instead of $1,500 or even $1,000, you get the #1 college prep Princeton Review, up to 4 years of access that covers over 200 hours of SAT, ACT, and PSAT for just $566. Isn't that awesome? It's like one mom said, you can't put a price on this. Giving your kid the best shot at scholarships in college is priceless. Note, if they only order the CD, it's a digital product and you won't need to deliver. And then just to close, additional information that's just kind of helpful for us. I want to look at the European talk for that, so hold on. There it is. Sales talk booklet. Let me see what the Europeans say. Maybe I can make a Frankenstein's mix of these two. Covering objections formula. Page 52. Okay. For the Europeans, right, if you've qualified them, how was school overall? You like it? Not so much? But you're doing well? You're planning on college? What do you want to do? Have you thought about what you want to study? Yeah, no problem. So, soon you'll have to figure it out, but it's not always an easy choice. I think I decided about 4 to 5 months before graduating. Okay, that's the same. So ACT and SAT are coming up in 11th grade. If they've done it, then ask, how did it go? Are you pleased with the results? Excited? What's your goals? Most answer, I don't know. Can I give you an idea? Shoot for a 30. With your grades, you'll have a big chance to get a full ride. That'd be pretty cool, right? What have you been doing to prepare yourself? What have you been planning to do? This is the place where you should listen and ask more. Not selling a product right away, but plant the idea that going to discuss an ACT is a smart idea, but usually not enough. If they own a book about, ask how much they've been using it so far. Now, an average score is about 20 to 21. It seems like even a lot of straight A students don't score that high. Best I've been seeing is about 21 to 24. Rarely 26 to 27, because the ACT is not so much about your knowledge, but more about the strategies. And that's the problem a lot of high school teachers have told me. If you go through the book, you'll understand more about the materials, but it oftentimes doesn't help with the strategies. If you do the classroom course, and that's very good for an overview, if you do a classroom course, it's very good for an overview of what's going to happen and what the test is going to look like. Since there are many people in the class, they can't really focus on individual students' personal weaknesses. And then there are specific ACT courses and coaches. For instance, Sylvan Learning Center or similar which seem to help, but cost closer to $1,500 plus per course. It means going back and forth to Lubbock or closest big city. Plus, it means driving like an hour and a half to get to the nearest city to do that 2 to 3 times a week. And if kids are active in sports, that doesn't really happen that much. The points matter, so that would be stupid. So it wouldn't be smart so I wouldn't recommend just winging it and hoping for the best. Every point matters. Like for instance, in insert university, if you get 24 points, you already save $7,500 in 4 years. That's already a lot of money. If you get 27 points, you'll get almost half paid off, and with 30 points, you'll probably get a full ride if your grades are good. And that would save you 60 to 70K in years. Mom would be happy about that. You gotta do your research before making claims like that. I don't know if full rides work that way. We have something that helps to prepare for the ACT. Would you want me to explain it a little bit? Well, we have an exclusive partnership with the Princeton Review, so our college entrance digital program provides access to an award-winning learning management system that provides personalized SAT and ACT practice, feedback, tracking strategies, and guidance to help students into the choice. And then just buying atmosphere. Cool. Now, our college prep by the Princeton Review covers your college application from A to Z. They've been in business for over 40 years and have helped over 400 million students get into the colleges of their choice. The package comes with a prep book for the new digital SAT and PSAT, ACT, and a booklet covering all you'll need to know about your college application. When thinking of going to college, the first question you have is, where do I get started? What is the ACT? What is the SAT? Which one should I take? What and how do I apply for scholarships, and what are the deadlines? And our booklet provides all and the system provides all that information in one easy place. But the next question is what do I want to study and what college should I do? And it's not always easy to know which college is the right choice for the major you want. What GPA scores are required, what GPA and SAT scores are required. And that's why we have the Find My College section, providing you with essential information. If it's one thing, it is one thing if you want to go to Northeastern State, another to University of Oklahoma, and totally different if you're looking for Harvard. With Harvard, only 3% get accepted, so you have to have ACT and SAT scores required and the tuition, an average of $52K per year. And it gives you the same information for colleges all across the country. Then the parent comes. How are we going to pay for college? 10 to 40K per year is not something everybody can do, of course. Students can get loans, but I guess that's not always the best idea. Did you know that every year there are more than 10,000 scholarships that no one takes just because people don't know about them? You can register for Sallie Mae Scholarship Search, and it'll give you every scholarship offer in the U.S. You can even create a personal profile, put your GPA in, sports, ACT, and SAT score, and majors you're interested in, and you will get a weekly update of scholarships you qualify for. How awesome is that? Why are we plugging Sallie Mae? Servant-mindedness, I guess. Of course, knowing about scholarships does not mean you'll qualify for them. Roughly half of your college application is based on your GPA and the other half on your ACT and SAT score. Imagine you work hard for 12 years to get a good GPA, and it's just as important as this one test. That's tricky. And what's tricky is on those tests are 2.5 up to 3 hours long, but there's so many questions. And you get on average about like 68 seconds to answer each of them. Pretty fun, right? In reality, it's much more about strategy than your knowledge. The best part about our prep is that you get both the strategy and the knowledge. When you feel prepared, you take the actual full-length test. What's neat is that when the digital ACT, you will get an immediate score report telling you what your strengths and weaknesses are. Do you use Netflix or Spotify? You know how Netflix recommends movies based on what you like? That's exactly what our ACT and SAT prep does. It looks at your study habits and your strengths and weaknesses and develops a tailored study plan for you. Isn't that amazing? Increasing your score from 1 point at the ACT test or 40 at SAT means an average of like $84,000 in available scholarships. Pretty cool, right? So essentially, it is 4 years worth of access, 25 full-length tests, 16 single-subject tests. Since students will be taking the SAT, on top of that, everything you need for college classes. It's really weird. They're like similar, but there's like bits and pieces here that are just different. Huh. Okay. Now you're probably wondering what the price. Usually moms get excited and then they get worried. Because one of the main reasons everyone's been getting it is the price. College preps usually start at around $800. And that's more like a starting package. Like Kaplan, Sylvan, and Princeton Review itself, they charge anywhere from $600 to $1,500 private, $600. Private tutors run between like $50 to $200 for 1 hour. And usually it's all worth it because if you get 2 or 3 more points, you save an exponential amount of money than what you would have spent in college. But the reason everybody's been getting it from me is that the Princeton Review is recognized as the #1 college prep. You get up to 4 years of access. Covering over 200 hours of SAT, ACT, and PSAT prep. It's just $555, which is not bad at all. Moms tell me that they pay $500 a month for college prep for kids. And if you get a few scholarships because of it, that would be already worth it. Now, Ms. Jones said putting money into kids' education is more like investing than spending. The way I do business. That's just really cool. I'll probably put those in the AI and get a cumulative sales talk that's like combining the two, but it's really cool.